clean, bro. Is this on your track? Is this on the thing?
This is
Which one is this?
I had this track.
It's not. Is it on your?
It's on my singles.
On the recent one?
Not the recent mixtape.
Oh, bro.
This is part of like the weekly singles.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do this again.
Very
All right.
experimental. Okay.
Okay.
My signature.
Oh shit, bro.
Oh, that's just me. That's my fingers. You are now tuned with the next one up. They want to pass the torch, so I lit one up. Marathon running 26 with a pair of thongs, aka my flip flops. This hip hop, the time is now. I don't need a goddamn wristwatch. Tick tock, yeah, aiming straight for the tip top. It's either that or I stay the same, never changing lanes and I drip drop. Hold up, gotta make a pit stop, cause your boy can't do it alone. Rolling with the family from Los Angeles to Alaska down a hilltop. Woo! And I go so hard when I put it on wax. And I ain't that man to tell you that unless I knew it for a fact. Keep the contracts away from me, my pen contacts my paper, see contrast that make believe and compact the fakest dreams. Call that away to freedom, I combat that statement, eat it and repeat it, cause this rapper ain't for sale. Mom and dad, if you listening, I hope you keep your cool. But I decided in the meantime, I ain't going back to school, cause I'm out here grinding. Hey. What? Zuko, we out here grinding. Hey. Yeah, that's how the song basically goes. Hey, Queen Chris is grinding. Get him, get him, get him. Hey, boom. Bay to LA, we out here grinding. Hey, hey. There we go.
Hey, cool. Do I pause it right now?
You can pause it now.
Okay.
Then that's the next song.
Cool. Word. MC Zuko, thanks
definitely.
for sharing.
Yes.
Give me a
pleasure.
little background about that song.
A little bit. Oh man. Okay. So I was going through beats on airbit.com.
Airbit.com.
Yeah, airbit.com. I totally recommend it for artists that are trying to find like leases to beats that they can rap on and put on like all streaming platforms. So the name of that beat is called Mafia 36. And the producer of that is Blue Magic. He owns like this whole producer group that makes all these beats. And Mafia 36, the name of my song is called Dawn Season. So I related, okay, the beat name is Mafia 36. Mafia, there's a Dawn. So the song is gonna be called Dawn Season. And the reason why it's called Dawn Season is because every season of the year, 4 seasons of the year, I dedicated myself to the mentality that I have to be a boss in everything I do. Of course, humbly. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm better than everybody around me, but it's like I want to reclaim my mentality of that self-hatred, the feeling like I need to work for someone else and just be enslaved to someone else. And like, no, this is me taking ownership of what I'm gonna do and what I wanna do. And that's all 4 seasons of the year, Dawn Season. Yeah. And telling my parents, I'm not going back to school until this happens, so.
So from that perspective, I was just actually gonna talk about that specific line.
Yes.
Are you saying going back to school for grad school, like that?
Yes.
Was that a vision that they had, that they wanted you to do? Or was it in your mind, in your plan before?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the thing is, I graduated with Asian American Studies last year, 2017.
Shout out from where?
From CISA and Cal State North.
Hey, right here.
We're here. We're doing an interview right here.
Okay.
So, Asian American Studies, I actually planned to go to grad school, but I was so burnt out from undergrad at the time that I just couldn't see myself going to school the same year or the year after. So I decided to mess around with music, and the music part was something that I was just doing on the side, and I started to find out started to believe that I could really do this. So that's when I was like, you know what, maybe I should push graduate school later on, because what if I want to do this music first, travel America, tour, visit like multiple Phil-Am communities around America, see how we're the same, see how we're different, then possibly come up with some kind of thesis after that and go back to grad school. Because like I had that preconceived notion that people that go to grad school have to be young, but I've seen people that were like 50s, 60s going to grad school. So I was thinking, why not take this music career to the next level, see what I could do with it, gather information and experiences all over America in multiple Phil-Am communities, and possibly come up with something. But like that's like what I'm aiming for. It's not like I'm gonna do that. It's set. Of course, plans always change, just like how I did right now. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Interesting. So you're still on somewhat of a trajectory of using your experience in Phil-Am community for a thesis.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why did you have the dream or the plan to go to grad school before? Were you thinking of becoming professor, doing certain work, research, what?
Yes, yes. I wanted to become a professor. That was the initial intention of me joining Asian American Studies, other than, giving me an identity and finding how to cope with racism in this country. I wanted to be a professor. I wanted to just be in a classroom, teach, be funny, to make sure the students do their work. Because the way the professors show how they guide us in the classroom, it looked fun, and I could see myself just talking all day about stuff and having the kids go out in the communities and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do until I found out that hip hop was like I could do the same thing, but I could do that without working in a institution. And of course, there's nothing wrong with working in an institution, but it's like I could freely design how I maneuver my career in music.
So rewind a little bit to a while ago, you were saying you started to believe that you could do this, right? When did that start happening, especially in terms of the music? And then how did that start happening?
Oh man, how did I believe? Oh shoosh.
Because you were saying that that's in the kind of in the end of your like academic journey, which was like last year, and that's when you started like seeing that. Because you just said you were doing it on the side, and then you started thinking to pursue it, and then that's when you started believing that you could do it well.
Yes, most definitely. It had to have been after releasing my first EP last year. But the belief level, I didn't always have it inside of me. It was unlocked when I did PCN for Cisan Fossa. Shout out to Cisan Fossa.
Hey.
And that cast was like, we were very spot on. I don't know if it was because it was my first one or because like it was just that great, or maybe both. But everyone believed in each other in that cast. And it led me, at the same time, I was like tinkering with music.
This is your freshman year?
This is my last year, my fifth year.
Oh, so
yeah. It was last year when I did PCN.
So you didn't do PCN before that?
No, I have a whole journey to tell you, but
okay,
but yeah.
Let's go.
But skipping over through the entire college experience, my last year, my graduating semester, spring 17, I did PCN for the first time, and
so that was when I was seeing all the stories.
Yes.
Wait, no, that was the second time.
That was the second time. Yeah, that was this year.
Okay.
That was this year.
Okay,
yeah.
So that first year,
coming back to what I said about the cast believing in us, believing in each other. At the same time, I was crafting my side time EP. So on the weekdays, I would do PCN stuff. On the weekends, that was crazy. No, you got that magic. Hey, I was sick.
Queer power, bro.
Queer power, man.
I'm here, bro.
Salute. Damn, that was intense. Anyways, what was I saying?
PCN.
Yes, PCN. Okay, so weekdays and weeknights, we would practice PCN from 5 till like hella late, maybe 12, 1, 2. Weekends, I would go to the studio. And I went to the studio maybe once or twice a month because I didn't have a lot of time, money, energy, belief level, but I was just tinkering around, and I used how do I say this? I can't put it in any other better terms than saying kapwa. Like that energy that I was getting and giving back from PCN, I was putting it into the studio on the weekends. And once I released it in the end of, like after PCN was over, which gave me a huge feels, like I was in my feels the whole time, I released the EP along with music videos to each of the songs. It's a 6-song EP, and I shot all the videos with my cousin Jamar, great videographer by the way.
I think I've seen him tagged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have.
Pop tagged.
Yeah, just Jamar Sheets. So
this is shot by Jamar, right?
Yes, all the time, everything I have.
Cool.
So
he's your cousin.
He's my cousin. He's my first cousin. Yeah, our dads are brothers, and our dads are very similar. But anyways, so the 6-song EP contains music videos, and it tells a whole story about like me feeling like very doubtful about myself. But towards the end, like the 5th music video, there's a skit there. I'm not gonna tell you how it goes. You might, you know, you can watch it for yourself. But I ended up feeling like I was ready to do it. And then after I released it, I didn't know how. I didn't care about the, you know, the reaction or how people would respond to it. I just wanted to release it just to show people that, yo, this is what I've been doing during PCN. Now it's out. And everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people were telling me that, yo, this is great, this is cool, this is authentic, it's real, you know, good start. Like, good start, I could see you going places. And then after that, it just made me realize, like, damn, maybe I should check this out a lot more. Let me go in this area more. And that's what brought me here, so.
When did you start writing music? Like, and raps? Like, when is this? Because you didn't just start during PCN time, right? Yeah, and then how did you get into that process of even going to the studio with like this set of folks writing and stuff?
You know, I just love the way you ask the questions and how you just know what to, you know how to bounce back after everything. You're provoking my thoughts right now. That's like, yo,
Don't compliment me, just answer the question.
okay. You said, how did I start writing?
Yeah.
Okay, I think, like, writing seriously or just writing to write? Like, just.
Let's start writing to write, just writing to write, and then how, because that transitions into the writing seriously. Because I see the flow from just this first piece, right? I see the flow, I see the writing, I see the craftsmanship, right?
Yeah.
That started somewhere,
Yes,
right? And where did that start from? Because you just told the story, right, of the PCN and getting that confidence, but you already had that skill built before that.
Yeah.
So where did that start from?
Okay. Well, I feel like a great song can be written when it's coming from the heart, when it's coming from an honest place. And my whole life, I've always aimed to do the right or honest thing, if it was bad or good. I stumble a lot, many times, but that's where a lot of the heart in my lyrics come from. But the first thing that I wrote, now that I think about it, now that you mention it, my 4th grade teacher, Mr. Lula, he had us write a 4-sentence poem that had to rhyme. And then, like, each word in the end, like the first and second sentence had to rhyme, and then the third and fourth sentence had to rhyme.
So AABB.
Yeah. So then we had to use like a vocabulary word. So I was just, you know, messing around. This is 2003 or 4, and this is around the time when Eminem and G Unit was like on the top, you know. So, and my uncles, my dad, everyone, my aunts would listen to hip hop at the parties.
Oh,
like,
word.
yeah,
okay.
I was first attracted to like West Coast, like Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and all that. And in 4th grade, I wrote a poem. I wrote it. I was like, all right, let me just take a around. I forgot what it said, but it had to do with like thin ice. I forgot what the vocabulary word was too. I said, "Go your powers, go your powers." Yes.
We have to do that every
Yo, that's cool. That's fine, man. That's cool. That's value production. That is value production. Okay.
It's actually on purpose to get our bodies moving.
Yeah, so we can,
right?
you know, we gotta put our arms, throw rap hands real quick and what, throw
Rap
interviewer hands and stuff. Okay, so
Thin ice.
Thin ice, yes. I said something skating on thin ice. No, it's not really nice. No, something that rhymes with 4. And I said, Mr. Lula, please give me a 4.
Because that's a full score.
Yeah. It's grade school is numbered. What he did was he read it to the class, and then I think that's the first time I believed, like, oh, maybe I could be some kind of rapper. No, but then like throughout the years, the next thing that bumped up like the writing part was he brought a rapper to class. Same
Word.
teacher. Yeah, he brought a rapper to class, like a local rapper. He was it's not like a big famous rapper or anything, but he had bars for a 4th grader. I was a 4th grader. I'm like, damn, this guy. So he gave him like vocabulary words, and he had to put them in a rhyme. He was like, I'm gonna give you these 3 words, put that in a rhyme. And then he would do it, and that just amazed me. And then ever since then, you know, in high school, I like making people laugh. I'd say, give me 3 words, give me 3 like random phrases. They'd give me like barbecue sauce, cemetery, and pitchfork. And then like I would put that in a rhyme. I would write in class and then tell them in nutrition or lunch. And then I loved seeing the reactions because, you know, as Phil Lambs, we like to fuck around and joke around.
yeah.
So I would write like the corniest but funny and cleverest shit.
yeah.
And that just made me feel like, whoa, I really got some kind of flow. And then what really refined that was when Kendrick Lamar came out. I first heard him with Swimming Pools. I'm sorry, am I talking too much?
No, no, go.
Because I also want you to talk.
No, go,
All right,
bro.
All right. My bad, I'm sorry.
No, I'm good at interrupting, so don't worry.
Okay. Yes. All right. So what really refined that was Kendrick Lamar. The first song I heard from him was Swimming Pools, and this is when I was feeling like Tyga was the best rapper in the world.
So, but were you writing during that time between that first, like Eminem, like exposure rapper to Kendrick? That's a big jump from 2003 to 2004 to Swimming Pools. Were you writing raps during that time? Or were you just doing that little funny stuff
yeah,
at
I
school?
was just funny stuff.
You never wrote like verse?
Never wrote verses. I never wrote songs. I guess. Oh, are you? Well,
But were you You were listening to like
I was
Eminem
listening
and
because
stuff like that. Okay.
yeah. Because I was like, man, how do these guys like rap like that? And then like just me rapping like Eminem, and then like all the greats like Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Lauryn Hill. I just started to pick up like how they rap and like where they go in the beat. And that's how I got my flow, but I didn't know how to like what to write. I was still talking about like, you know, stupid high school stuff in my raps. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. Of course, you know, I don't yeah.
Bro, I have poems and raps from like high school, and I read it. I'm like,
Bro, I would lose my job.
Yes. Oh my God.
bro, this is so bad, embarrassing, so fucking like degrading to
It's-
women,
it's
and
like you're so
like what the fuck?
Your masculinity showing a little bit too much, like way too much.
Come on,
How many girls you been with though? None. And I'm like, yeah, I get the girls. None. That's just how it was,
I
man.
know those are fucking hidden on my computer
Yo,
forever.
bro, I have a notebook of them. I read them to this day. I'm like, this is not Asian American study major. Like, it's not at all.
Oh my god. I want to be honest, but let's not be too honest about this certain thing.
Okay.
No, let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it, but I don't have to read it.
Yes. I'm not gonna say those raps again, but I didn't. Yeah, I just didn't write.
Okay, and then so what happened when Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, when Kendrick Lamar came out, it kind of restored my, well, not restored, but I was like, whoa, this guy's, I've never heard someone like him before. And it made me dig deeper into like hip hop and like real, what people would say real rap. I don't like using that term, but lyricists, there we go. And I was like, wow, maybe I should start writing something. And then like my fraternity, shout out to Alpha Psi Rho, CSUN Alpha Psi Rho Beta chapter. They at our parties when we get lit, we would just have random freestyles. And our chant is actually, we have like some Wu-Tang bars in there. So our fraternity is very big on hip hop, and that's what made me started like rapping more and more and more. But I didn't really write a song up until like my well, not like a full song, but like a rewrite, like writing something, just something, until like 2015.
Word?
Yeah.
That was what, your sophomore year? And
That was my junior year.
Junior
My
year.
junior year.
Your third year in college.
Yeah.
That's when you started actually writing a rap. Bro,
Yeah.
that's hella fucking recent.
Yeah, but I don't know. When I hear it back, I'm like, When I started seriously writing was last December. I started.
What was the shift into like quote unquote serious writing?
Because the EP that I put out, it was only on SoundCloud and DatPiff, so it's free download. The beats weren't fully mine; they were like YouTube rips.
Yeah.
So, and they were MP3, they weren't like the stems and whatnot. So when I got the shift to the seriousness is when I met my manager, and he's from New York. So we have completely contrasting mindsets of what music and how our careers go, but it's the same grind, the same animal. I'm very like reserved, and you know, I don't like talking about myself a lot, like say I'm the shit, like all that. And I'm very like family oriented, and I'm like, I don't put money over the art. He doesn't either, but he understands that in order for us, if we want if we want this career to happen, we have to be monetized. Well, we have to be monetized. Ew. Let me not say that. Let's monetize our creativity and create careers out of it without losing any type of integrity or like, you know, kind
Putting
of
a
like our
facade,
souls.
yeah.
Let's make something because we deserve it. Let's not do it to get money. So there's a difference there. But yeah, that's
So that shifted, meeting that manager shifted your like work ethic and grind to do it seriously in terms of your writing.
Yeah. I feel like I always had the grind, but he really focused it and channeled it towards like, stop doing all this because you're doing this. Let's just do this and go hard at just that.
What was the other thing? When you said don't stop doing this, what were those other things?
The other things were going back to YouTube and getting beats that weren't mine, or not even, at least leasing. You know, still releasing music on just SoundCloud and DatPiff instead of all streaming platforms. Not putting myself in the mentality that if I keep doing this, if I keep doing this for free without trying to get some kind of, without trying to make it some kind of career for myself, then I'm spending more for it as opposed to getting an ROI. And of course, it's not like, I'm not trying to say money is everything, but I do want to make this a career, you know? And also,
It's such a hard thing with creativity and monetizing it.
Yes.
Because we have such a contrasting paradigm, like especially within our culture. Kui power. Within our culture, I wrote this tweet one time when I was saying like our nanais, lolas, and titas want us to sing at family parties and pay us, but do not want us to do any creative career.
Yes.
It's like, anak, go sing, but be a singing doctor, like that, right? There's like a barrier, especially within Filipino culture, of like, yo, you can be very creative, play piano, do all that, but do this technical job, right? Because it's not yet within the collective paradigm that you can be a professional within the entertainment career.
Yes.
And it's only like one or Jasmine Trias or like who else? Who's that? Like whoever made it popular on American Idol, right? That's the only ones. But it's not something that's really legitimized. Right there. And I think we should legitimize it.
Yes.
That's why I do like seeing people on the grind, and I encourage it, and I like. And especially you've already graduated college, right? So it's not like you're dropping off college and pursuing it outside of that, right?
Yes.
Not to diss on people who do that,
of course,
right?
Of course.
But of course, you gotta get the degree for Lola, right?
Exactly. That's the reason why I got the degree. You know, like,
I'm like, all right, I can talk myself out of it with Tata and work and shit, but Lola really wants it, so let me just finish this.
Most definitely, have to.
Can you do this next track?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Play.
Okay. Let's get this bouncing. Let's go. All right.
Gotta let it breathe a little bit.
Okay.
This one's called Listen.
Producer
Blue Magic. Yo, let me talk to you, yeah? Listen, whatever you want to do, you can accomplish it, but you can't do it alone without a few accomplices. Turn your talent to practice and then you polish it, whether you in the block or studying at them colleges, cause we too strong to be kept in as mental hostages. We shine too much to not be showing our prominence. Tupac said to keep our heads up, and I'm fed up cause our heads down all on the ground just like a bunch of ostriches. I don't do this for the awards or the acknowledgements or to brag about adding to my achievements and accomplishments. If motherfuckers are on the way, then I'm busting out the hockey sticks. That's the goal right there.
Hey.
The fruits of my labor, I savor my antioxidants. Nourish the body, nourish the mind, nourish your soul. Your life will flourish in time. Have purpose, you ain't worthless, we deserve this. Yeah. The clock is a time bomb ticking down to our doom. It's a lifelong reminder that we going down soon. It don't only tell time, it shows how much time we got left. Unaware that it's passing, take for granted what we spent. Now here's my 2 cents, pay attention, listen, pause. That's the next one.
Okay. Tell me your process when you write your tracks.
Man, there's like a whole behemoth of methods that I go by. So what I would like to do is first the message that I want to convey. I had to think of that first. It might take like a minute, an hour for me to come up with it. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. But what I do is like whatever message I want to convey. Let's say a topic could be like self-hatred.
Why don't we dissect this one?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
we can dissect this one. So I was listening to the song. I was trying to get a feel for it and whatnot. And then what I did was I'm really good at rhyming like multisyllabic words. So like accomplishments, acknowledgements, ostriches, you know, whatever and whatnot. So I just started writing a bunch of words that rhyme with, what was the first thing? Whatever you want to do, you can accomplish it. Okay, accomplish it. What rhymes with accomplish it? Accomplices. Turn your talent to practice and then you polish it. Whether you in the block or studying at them colleges, we too strong to be kept in as mental hostages. So all those words that I come up with, and then Philams, like, you know, or Philippine people in general, we're very corny, cheesy jokes. I'm just gonna keep saying that, bro, because it's true. People say that corny doesn't go a long way. It does.
Bruh,
Corny goes a
it
long
takes
ass way.
intelligence to deliver puns right in the moment.
Exactly.
Because you have to be present in the moment and just analyze what is there and find the opportunity. And it slaps people. They don't even know.
They don't
and
know how to react.
They don't want to laugh,
Yeah.
but they laugh.
Yeah.
And then they laugh disappointingly, but they laugh. It's another layer, bro. It's another layer that people don't even realize, bro. Why is it only dads who get it? Because they go through the wisdom of life. It's called dad jokes because of wisdom, bro.
Done.
Why we titos, bro?
You just
I've been thinking of it for so long.
you just ripped my brain out and said everything that I feel. And
Multi-layers, bro.
that's facts right there. But yes, you have to be corny. You have to be intelligent to some degree to be corny. And then all these words that I rhymed, I just found out a way to connect them.
Oh, so in this case, you had
I had all the words that rhymed
first, and then you build around it.
build around it. That
So
was
that's
like
one
one
method.
way. That's one method. Another method could be like I think of a message. I start writing already, maybe without a beat, and then I go out and find a beat that triggers the same emotion. So, or I could listen to a beat, it triggers an emotion, and I just start writing there.
So you've done that method where you've written something already, and you had to find a beat for it.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. I've never written that way.
Yeah, there's multiple ways, and you just gotta find the one that suits for you. Yeah.
How do you kind of decide that, alright, I like this. This is what I've written. This is gonna be final already, and you're
man.
not changing up.
That there's like so many ways. Okay, so if to me, it's like a feeling. Like once you write it and then you keep saying it. I know I like it for sure when I don't have to look at the notebook and I've just been reciting it that I know the words. But if I don't know the words and I'm just listening, sometimes I have to be like, okay, it doesn't sound good here. Maybe if I record it and I hear it, maybe it'll sound good. Like Dawn Season, I wrote it. I'm like, I have the flow, but I don't know if I'm gonna sound like aggressive because I'm not an aggressive person. But then when I recorded it, I was like, oh, I sound like that? Okay, let me add more aggression here and here and here and here. And then I was like, ooh, now it sounds good. So I never know. I might like it in my mind, but that's something else compared to when I write it. That's something else compared to when I record it. And that's something else compared to when I'm hearing it again. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't like it here. Let me change the beat up. Let me change this part. Let me add this. Yeah.
So it's like going with the flow and the feeling of what is right.
Yes,
and
yes.
deciding once you get that feeling that it's right, you let it go.
Yes, yes.
This guy's lying though. He said he's not an aggressive person. Have you heard Ong Manito? How do you say it?
Oh my God. Oh manignatuk. Yeah. Or putangin mo. You can say that. That's the song. That's the
I
one.
was like, what the fuck? Oh my. Bro, I was in the Philippines when I heard that song for the first time, and I was like, what the fuck? I got up from my chair and I was just, fuck yeah, bro. Intensity. There's that intensity. The energy is caught in it. Like for some folks that do
Thank
not
you.
know, this guy goes off putang ina mo
Thank
in
you.
a fucking track,
Had
in
to.
song, bro.
Had to.
It was dope. It was dope.
That one's crazy.
What's this called? the way that you rap, I remember I was talking to a homie, and then he legit said, "Oh, this guy listens to a lot of Eminem." Yeah, is that true?
Eminem,
Is that true?
Yeah, I listened to all of his albums, including Revival, Kamikaze. You know, a lot of people didn't like Revival.
The recent ones?
Yeah, the recent ones also. But his old ones, of course, classics. But Eminem is definitely one of my top MCs of all time, artists of all time.
Who are your other influences, top artists?
Ooh, there's a lot, and it's not even strictly just in hip hop. There's like a lot of genres. Like first of all, my parents are the best singers in the world to me.
Oh, really? They sing?
Yeah, they sing. So I got a lot of just like how to groove with music from them. And karaoke, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So there's Eminem.
What do they sing though?
What do they sing?
What's their go-to stuff? My Way.
Oh my gosh! All right, so my dad listens to he sings a lot of Ray Valera, Freddie Aguilar.
Okay.
Let's.
Does he be jamming on the guitar at home?
No,
or
I
stuff?
wish. I
Just
wish he
mainly
was an instrument,
Magic
but
Mike.
his voice is the instrument.
Oh, okay.
And his personality when he sings it. I got like my swag is my dad's swag.
Yeah.
My heart is my mom's. Mine. Yeah. So my mom sings a lot of MYMP. She sings a lot of Regine Velasquez, Sharon Cuneta. Yeah, and
Damn, the family parties be popping. Huh?
oh yeah, especially when we drink. Like man, we're on that mic all night. It's fun. It's fun. I know you've been through some of those too. So
It's like you realize that it's your voice, and you realize 2 hours later you're just screaming the songs.
yeah, that's okay. Like when you watch the recording,
we still good. We still good.
like when you watch the recordings, I'm like, damn. Or maybe it was a little too loud. Then. I don't even know. That's not even the lyrics to the song.
Now at the end of the road.
Like off key, off
I can
tempo.
reach it. I can reach it this time.
Yes.
So, and what other
songs.
music? Like, what has influenced your sound that you would
Oh
say?
yes. Okay. So, well, of course, I can name like various hip hop artists, but I actually want to name some of the people that a lot of people wouldn't expect me to have influences from in terms of music. So of course, there's my family. A lot of OPM. I listen to like oldies like 70s and 80s, like Bee Gees, Eagles, Madonna. That entire era, the 70s and 80s, I'm really big on as well. And those are really good. They give off the same karaoke vibes as like the OPM songs.
Yeah, I feel OPM is stuck in that time, or is very heavily inspired by the ballads of that time. Very interesting.
Yes, it's toxic, yo. It just
It hits the
lives in
soul.
you.
It hits
right
the.
there.
It hits the romantic side of the Filipino soul that we don't want to admit. Like as Philams, I feel there's a certain level of like Pogi Boy, diba? It's just
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
hey, what's up?
Yeah,
fam?
and I
Like
gotta
that,
admit,
like that.
I was one of those people before.
And then you listen to the fucking OPM, and you're, oh shit! Ay, bakit pa?
Just as Oh my God. That's one of them. That's one of the
That's one
first
of them,
ones I
right?
knew
That's one of
that I learned about. So yeah, OPM. OPM is something that it lives in our household. Everybody loves OPM.
So you grew up in a very like musical household.
Yes, very musical, and yeah. Oh,
How has the conversation been with your parents and the transition to you pursuing music like hard?
okay. So here's the thing. I had a curse about every time I told my parents about what career I wanted. I would never go after it. So the thing about me is every time I tell them, hey, I want to do this, and I would switch my major, I end up not following through with it. Like at first, I'm like when I was going to, are we good?
It's good, it's good. Just checking.
When I was in high school, I wanted to be a nurse pharmacist, and I would tell my parents that, yeah, I'm gonna major in biochemistry when I go to CSUN. Went here, I did that. I'm like, no, I can't. So then I told them, you know what? No, I'm gonna be an environmental biologist. Switched my major again, and then I ended up not doing it after like a year. And then I was like, no, let me do accounting. I would tell them, accounting. Oh no, I'm gonna go into business. Oh wait, no, actually, never mind that. I want to be a professor now. And then this one time, I told them that no, I didn't tell them I wanted to be a rapper this time. And from that time, from PCN all the way up until I guess like I think maybe late last year, when I already had my EP out and they watched it and they loved it because they're also
Oh, they watched all the videos.
they watched
Okay.
all the I told them to watch all of them, and seeing their faces, you know, like believing that I can do this and seeing that they loved what they heard, that's when I said, hey, you know, I have the video too of me telling my parents. I had to record it, and I was like, I'm gonna be a rapper. And then they said, cool, if you want to do it, just are you gonna make money and all this? Of course they're gonna ask those kind of questions. I was like, yeah, I know, I will. It's just not in the time right now, because I do understand that in order for me to get to that kind of place, I had to put in a lot of investment, energy, time, money, and just my entire being into it right now, which comes with a lot of sacrifice. Because the music career and tradition of Philippine families is completely in two sides of another spectrum. But I told everybody in my family what I wanted, and I had to do it. I had to make sure I showed them the EP first for them to see, okay, he's not just talking this time. And then now every time I can have a normal conversation with them about like music and what I've been doing, and it opened up a lot of avenues, because I would like, you know, I would question my dad about like infidelity, why some of the things he did. I would ask my mom about, hey, do you ever feel depressed sometimes? Because I do. Do you ever feel like you hate yourself, this, that? Why did you get married? Why are we Catholic? Do you really believe in God? We don't go to church all the time. I asked these questions after I saw that telling them about hip hop, it kind of opened these dialogues more.
Wait, skirt.
Yeah, I know.
That's very important.
Okay.
Expound a little. Why do you say that this was able to open the avenue to even talk to your dad about infidelity? What was that process like? What do you mean through hip hop?
Okay. Because I was under the impression, I was tripping myself out, because I was telling myself, if I tell them I'm gonna do music, which is why I didn't tell them, they're gonna tell me no, because of that stigma about the creativity and arts in our community. I put my parents in that box. I put my entire family in that box. But
Of what box? Of thinking
the box
that they'll
of
say
thinking
no.
that they would say that. And that was unfair for them. So that's why I decided to put in the work. And me, like, I was holding it for like a year and a half, or maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Because I wanted to be a rapper in like 2016. I wanted to do music in 2017, but I wanted to be serious in 2018. But in 2016,
Kuya Power.
Kuya Power, yes. In 2016, I kept it from them and until I released my material. But back to your question, when I that 2 years of holding that secret, after telling them and then seeing the way they not react, but how they responded to it, I felt like I could tell them anything after that. I felt like I could ask them anything, and when I do, they answer back. They at like a normal conversation, and I can tell and I can see that it's still a little uncomforting for them, but I can see that they're seeing that I'm making these sacrifices and my heart is in its good place. That if their son is doing all this, they want to make sure that every time I ask them something, they at least give me the answer that I deserve or whatnot.
Interesting. So, do you think that, for example, I'm just taking this specific example of infidelity, right? That was not talked about before because you didn't ask, or because they didn't feel that they wanted to, like you weren't at that level of communicating it to you, because they haven't seen your grind in this sense yet.
Yeah.
Which came first, chicken egg? The asking, or like what was the roadblock before?
The roadblock before, my parents, they want to make sure they're great parents. They're great parents, and they wanted to make sure that when they were raising me, my brother, and my sister, that everything was all right. They wanted to hold a lot of secrets if they have any. I don't want to assume. They wanted to hold a lot of things, a lot of the emotions they had, culture of silence, and try to make sure that we were raised the best that we could be. And they did a great job at that. But now I'm here like, hey, let's stop that. Let's talk now. You know? But what came first was, yeah, I feel like they didn't feel like, I don't even want to think for them. I feel like I just didn't want to ask because it was such a touchy subject. Not just for them, but for us. Because it's like, there was a point where I felt like I'm not going to see my dad anymore. I'm not going to grow up with my dad anymore. Maybe I should bring it up. Okay, he's back. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't talk about it. But growing up, I started to find my own answers and everything worked out. We're talking a lot more.
So a lot of it also was you just didn't feel comfortable asking.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Very, very uncomfortable asking. But there was a whole switch up. I feel like this year was an entire, how do I say it? Decolonization process for me. And music was that outlet. So, yeah.
Bro, that's just deep.
Yeah.
That's your thesis.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Full
you are
circle.
just.
No, but the reason I ask, and I'm just moved because I have infidelity in my family, and I've definitely felt that like uncomfortability to even talk about it, and the culture of silence is real. That I don't even find out about family secrets until years later.
Yes.
And I'm like in the dark, and I look at my sister, and she's like, "You didn't know?" It's like, "What the fuck? How did you know?" And I'm just sitting. Is it just I'm being kept in like oblivious state just to protect me, or because I'm bunso?
Yeah.
I'm like, just to make sure that you're fine, like that.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it's not even like, of course, respect to my family always. I'm not trashing anybody, but it is something that is also an issue with not just my dad, but like some of my aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
And I don't find out about them, and of course I don't judge them because like I don't know what the hell they've been through. I don't know what choices or things, experiences they had to go through to make the choices that they made, which is why I see it, I acknowledge it, and I try to ask myself what brought them to that position, and how can we move from that as a family together, and by talking about it. Yeah.
It's like being able to open up those communication channels.
Yeah. How can we? So.
I feel it, because I think the older I get also, I realize that they're human, right?
Yeah.
And I thought they had all the answers as I was a kid, and they were the adults, and now that I'm an adult, I'm like, bro, y'all are probably just as fucked up as me. Like, in terms of, like, not everybody has their shit together, right? And being able to be patient with them, but then also learning how to communicate and even press for answers or questions.
Yes.
Like that.
I agree.
There's definitely a learning process, even just to ask. Like, to be transparent, sometimes when I even go to some touchy issues with my dad, I have to do it through like a joke. I'm like, so, why didn't y'all work out? Like that. And it's definitely like a heavy topic that I feel I've also received a lot of the transference of bad habits, vices,
Same
or
here.
like my sister describes it like just the patriarchy in the Philippines, like that culture, the toxic sides of masculinity being transferred,
intergenerational.
right? And like realizing, shit, I've acted it out, and then now I'm like, am I gonna continue the same cycle for the next generation? But then realizing that I can stop it, but it's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of responsibility in ourselves. But I definitely feel music is very powerful.
Yes.
That's my thesis, gonna be like music therapy. I really feel like there's something about it that being able to put our lives, thoughts onto paper, and this background of melodies and beats, like kind of reorganizes our mind for ourselves.
You're glowing right now, man.
Huh?
Do you see it? Do you see it from me?
What do you mean?
I don't know, like there's like a glow about you.
What? Do you see energy? Are you
I think it is.
or maybe I don't.
Is
Maybe
it?
it's the tea.
It's like when I don't know, when I pick up like vibes from you from like other people, there's like this outline that outlines you, like a light. See it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Ati Ruby was glowing on stage. Ati Jojo. But anyways, off the topic. But
But
yeah,
I mean,
but yes.
like I have friends who also deal with energy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't see the auras usually, but some people really. I feel if there is a certain level of being connected with an energy, it comes through authenticity.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
I
think
agree.
that's what people, when they are on stage, like performing, especially their pieces, they get in touch with that. And I definitely get in touch with it. And it's more in tune and aligned when we are able to talk from here and talk from our original selves that was our
Yes.
like what we were born with before the layers of whatever other bullshit was put towards
started
us.
to code us.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And there's it's almost like a continuous journey to get back in touch with that original self too. And then realizing that there are pathways to it and then kind of practicing those habits to get you back in touch with it.
Yeah.
I really think music is one of those things.
I agree. Like I feel like it could music or basically like anyone that is doing anything that they love, that can be like their outlet as well. Yeah. So like it could be like maybe driving for someone. That's like their decolonization process, just like, you know, strolling, but yeah. Music.
So how would you describe your decolonization process?
Oh man, I would say maybe I think Camille said it best. Shout out to the Ramirez sisters. I think Jojo as well. I think
Who are
Camille
they?
said.
Were they on the beat with you on the track? Is that the one
I think
on the Manito?
Ati Jojo is
Ati
on the
Jojo,
song, and then I shout out Ati Camille in the song as well. We're working on some stuff right now.
They're musicians too?
They're musicians, yeah. Ooh man, it's crazy that I'm finally working with them. We've been talking about it for like a year and a half since PCN, but I had to go through like my own, I guess, process of decolonization, like finding confidence again, regaining confidence to like get at their level, because they were here and I was like, I don't know if I can work with that yet, but then I caught up to them. My decolonization process, I think Camille said it's like the 5 stages of grief. And you start off, of course, in denial, and then it goes to anger, and then it goes to bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I feel like right now I'm in depression. Like this year was the toughest year for me, just to even admit that I've been through some moments of depression. I've been through moments where I really felt like I didn't know what to do. I've been through moments where I felt like I really wanted to kill myself. I've been through moments where I would have relapse moments of when I was a kid, because as a kid I was not in this place right now. I'm not in this place. I truly hated myself to the core as a child, because I grew up around no Philippine Americans.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in LA. The only people that I had as Philippine Americans was my family, and that was the only place where I could express me. But going out there, a lot of it was outside sources telling me I couldn't be me, and inside sources telling me I couldn't be me. So I was just under a complete mind state of just self-hatred my entire, up until like maybe middle school, elementary to middle school. That's when I moved to the Bay, it changed.
You moved to the Bay?
Yeah.
When did you move to the Bay?
I moved to the Bay in 2007, and this was when my parents split because of, so my mom has family in the Bay. All her family's in the Bay. My dad's, all his family's here.
Where in the Bay?
I moved to El Sobrante, and I would also like live in Richmond with my cousins. I was gonna go to Pinole Valley, but I came back here for high school. But when I went there, I felt, because here in LA the vibe is very competitive and very like, you'll find the fakest people, but you'll find the most realest ones, because in a sea of fake ass motherfuckers in the city, only the real ones are like here, So I was a fake ass motherfucker. And going to the Bay, I got checked hard for it. But the difference between the Bay and here, people didn't make fun of me for being me like they did here. They made fun of me because I wasn't being me in the Bay. And I grew up from that. I'm like, wow, the people around me are not the ones that are tripping. This time I'm starting to see it's me this time, because I just try to put a fake persona. I try to be like all that fake, like I had Jordans and whatnot when I was a kid in the Bay Area. I went to Juan Crespi Middle School in 8th grade. And after
That's
moving
in El
here-
Sobrante?
That's in El Sobrante, yeah. And my brother went to El Sobrante. When I moved back here, when I moved back here, you know, I brought a little bit of that sauce, that thiz, and I started to like spot who the fake ass motherfuckers were in LA. I'm like, that helped me in high school. Now that I think about it, that question, man, questions. Damn, you're making me retrace everything.
It's
Whoa.
a process.
Okay, but yeah, so.
And then so that was a lot of that self-hate, like even coming back here. Is that what you're saying?
it was a lot of self. I still had it, but it wasn't as severe. I don't think so.
Because you were starting to check even your own fakeness.
Yes.
And then like it's beginning for you to like assess what is real about you.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that.
yes. And I feel like that in that moment from the Bay till my second semester of freshman year in college was the stage of denial.
What was in
Decolonization.
second semester of college?
Second semester of college,
What caused the shift?
the shift was when so like this is the stage of like just in life in general, like of the decolonization process. Denial, of course. Anger was next. In college, that's when I joined my fraternity. Because from high school, I graduated. I joined here, but I still wasn't like as community oriented. I wasn't as conscious or challenging the status quo in this country, challenging everything, every type of like thought, opinion. I was just in that turn up mode, you know, I was fresh out of high school. When I joined my fraternity, the thing about my fraternity is it gave me a hub for multiple Asian Americans, Pacific Islander Americans, that also was dealing with some type of their own self-hatred, and it gave us an identity.
What frat is that?
Fraternity Alpha Psi Rho.
Is that a Filipino or Asian one?
It's mainly Asian American, but yeah, mainly Asian American, not Filipino American. But there are a lot of Filipinos in there. So that gave me a hub of identity and empowerment. It may have been wrong sometimes, of course. I mean, I didn't do anything like illegal, but like, you know, or anything that's like against my values and what my family's taught me. But, you know, I did grow some kind of masculinity here and there from joining the fraternity. And it gave us a sense of empowerment.
Grow a little masculinity here and there. It's like a little succulent. I grew my own little masculinity.
I got a little
Pour
bit.
a little Henny onto that little cacti.
Take 2 shots in a row, you know, it's time. Yeah, man.
And then so that started shifting, but you were saying that that's the anger phase.
Yeah, the anger phase was between then and joining Asian American Studies, because it may have gave me a hub, the hub to like talk with other people that also was dealing with their own self-hatred. It gave me empowerment. It gave me a sense of identity and confidence, of course. But the one thing it was missing was the consciousness, the being aware of the issues that were going on in our communities. Having that, okay, we know we're the shit here, but why did we have to feel that way? What happened before that? That's when I joined Asian American Studies and learned basically the history of everyone coming, like what's happened to the push and pull factors that brought people over here, what we had to deal with here, generational shit, and then how it came up to my fraternity. So that entire time I was angry, and I was just angry with the fact that, like, man, fuck this, like, fuck everybody. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be my fraternity, and whatnot. But then the stage of bargaining happened when I was in Asian American Studies. Because once I started seeing these things, or admitting to, or like recalibrating everything that happened in my past life, oh shit, well, that was racist. That was fucked up. Why did I do that? Why did I do this? Why didn't I do this? Why did I bargaining? I started thinking, I should have done that. I should have done this. I should have been that. I should have done this. I was no longer angry because all that anger was being channeled towards the knowledge that I was gaining from the study, to the point where I felt like I should have done something in the past. I should have knew more about this. I should have done that. And yeah, so that was happening up until PCN. Or no, not PCN. That was happening up until, yeah, it was changing during PCN, because it's like, okay, instead of thinking about what I should have done, maybe I should do something about it. Because PCN, what Asian American Studies had was the consciousness, but we don't have like going out to like an organization like maybe FOSSA and learning like more. Like we know about the American experience. What about the Philippine? I don't know about the Philippine experience. And that's when I learned from FOSSA. So like I learned when I joined my fraternity, it was here. Asian American Studies told me everything that happened here in America. But then how did we get here? That's when I joined FOSSA and I learned, oh, that's how we build here to America.
Yeah,
now I'm
build
learning
change.
more about the Philippine identity, the diaspora, the indigenous side of it. And that's when I started tinkering around with the music. Cause maybe let me do music this time, the bargaining part.
So you're saying now, though, you are in like the depression phase.
I'm in the depression phase.
And how would you characterize that?
The depression phase, because now that the depression phase started when I started taking my music seriously. Because remember how I said that like Philippine family traditions conflict with music careers? There are many points in my life, many times in my life this year alone, where I felt that because I'm doing this, I'm doing them wrong. And I'm still there right now. I'm still this year. And what really helped me though was when I did PCN again as a graduate. Shout out to Dom. That was another great
Dom.
PCN. Yeah, Dom, you know Dom. So Dom Argana, he got a series in the Valley. Check that out soon.
Shout out to his girl Lorraine.
Yo, Coach! What up, Coach? Coach!
Circles.
Yo, man, that's crazy. Full circle.
Full circle.
That's wild. So, his PCN, I wanted
We
to
put
do
one big fucking just every Filipino in the fucking California is in one big
just
family
know each
party,
other.
bro.
We just know.
We're just in different rooms of one big house right now. That's how this shit
a big ass hallway that's separate.
It's called the I-5.
Yeah, it's like the I-5 that's all the way. The 101. Oh, y'all say I-5?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
say the 5.
The 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I-101, the 101. That's funny. I didn't start. Oh, what were you gonna
No. Dom. You're saying
Yes.
the PCN.
the PCN. His PCN was geared towards the issue of mental health and not talking about it in our communities. Depression. After that show, I think, looking back at it, I feel like I was doing the show because I didn't have to do it. But I was doing it, of course, not just for Dom in the community, but I was depressed myself. I was trying to bring back that feeling I got from my first PCN to see if I could energize myself. Unconsciously, I was doing that. I didn't know. I was just doing PCN to do it. And it helped me admit that I'm depressed. I'm depressed because that's what the whole storyline was about. That cast has got to be one of the most my most stressful one compared to the first one. And very like not as motivating. But I'm not saying that to bash that PCN and of course Dom and the cast, but I'm saying it because in order to take 1 step or 3 steps forward, you got to take 1 step back. And I took a step back. I was in that zone, feeling depressed, admitting that I was going through depression. And yeah, it helped save my life doing that cast.
What? Because sometimes people, this is just from my exposure to people's understanding of depression.
Yes.
Right? It's not as clear for those who have not experienced it or what it is. And even to the point of people who are going through it may not even realize that they are going through something that's really heavy. What were the things that you were experiencing that now you would describe as you were going through depression? Like what was going through your head? Even if
most
context-wise you've already graduated, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing this big step of like pursuing music. Like from the outside looking in, you would think like, dog, this guy's on the hustle, right? This guy's doing his shit, right? But what was going on internally that was making you, that now you realize, yo, that's been a heavy time?
Okay, so one of the most immediate factors was the music that I was listening to. Daniel Caesar, you know Daniel Caesar? Okay. His album. Yeah.
What's that on Magic Mike, bro?
Yeah, we need a Magic
We need
Mike.
that
We need an
Magic Mike.
updated Magic Mike with Daniel
Yeah, we
Caesar
get
songs,
that.
man.
It's all
That
Daniel
shit,
Caesar.
all Daniel Caesar.
Bro,
Oh
all
my
Filipinos will be singing every single one of that,
Oh,
bro.
Jesus Lord.
Bro,
Oh
the
my
little
God.
Khalid, bro, they're all gonna sing all that, bro.
That's the one, that's the
You
one.
just need to have a Magic Mike with Music Soul Child,
Okay, true.
Usher,
Yes.
fucking Trey Songz,
Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men,
SWV,
and then now
Escape.
Daniel Caesar.
Yeah. Daniel Caesar and her. Yes.
And her, yeah,
Yes. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Like what was going on internally that now,
That I triggered now. That's like, oh, that was depression.
yes.
The one of the immediate factors was the music I was listening to. I was listening to a lot of slow, mellow music. Like Daniel Caesar and her were like the only people I was listening to. Sam Smith. Slow slow OPM songs that would just make me feel some type of realness again. Another thing is the fact that I didn't want to admit I was going through something and not trying to help, not trying to seek help. Like, this is nothing. Like, okay, I'm sad. I don't feel good today. Like, what? Who? Why would I go out for help for this? That means that I'm probably not doing something that I love. Not going to birthdays, not calling work off, working overtime, because this is also my first time that I used to have someone that worked before me at my job, and then he left, and then I had to do the stuff myself. Getting to know everything myself, and just how the whole process went, and doing the deliveries, because beginning this year it was like a lot, because of my inexperience, of course. I felt like I had to be at work all the time. I didn't want to go home. I didn't go to I live in Palmdale, which is like 40 minutes away from here. That's where my parents go. I'm supposed to go there every weekend. I wouldn't go there every weekend. I wouldn't see my grandparents as much as I would used to. I was literally, it was just me and another person that saved my life, my Alab, Abigail, my partner.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, I always go to her place, and we were, the wild thing was she was going through some of the worst times of her life too. She too was going through depression at that time. But when we were with each other, it felt like we're always happy. Because we connected at this low level. That's another thing that made me realize. Another one was doing this whole music thing, sacrificing everything that was family oriented, because I'm I'm all about just being at my family, like just with them. Doing the music stuff and trying to really make a name for myself, I felt like I had to cut that time with them to pursue that. Posting videos every day, lyric videos, editing them myself, not getting sleep.
Bro, those lyric videos take fucking forever to edit. So when I saw them on your IG, I was like, is this motherfucker editing this word by word? Because I've done shit like that, and that's time consuming, bro.
Yes.
Fuck. So you were giving up time with your family to do that.
To do that. And of course, I don't want to be like, oh, fuck. Because of course, that's what I want to do. But I felt the obligation that I had to post all the time. To the point where I was fishing for like likes and compliments and comments and people hitting me up. No, like I should just find that within myself. And what's another one?
And so from there, right, kind of realizing that, what brought you a step up?
Okay, what brought me a step up?
Because you did mention your support there was your alab.
Yeah.
And then so like where is that progression now from now realizing that you were in that point, right? And then what has helped you go on a more positive trajectory?
Yes. That's the thing. I'm still going through that right now. I can only I'm like not where I used to be, like when I started the depression state. I'm like at a more level-headed one, but it's still there. I still have my moments, of course, ups and downs. I feel like being with my manager, with my alab, with J-Mark, Kuya Grizz, Kuya Mars, the whole squad, like that's helping me with this music stuff. And then telling me that I can really do something with this. Like them believing in me and then me believing in them. We have our scruffles all the time, but we all know whose side we're on. And it's like me basically trying to finally seeing that I'm locking down with the people that I'm really gonna be working with for the rest of my life. And my manager, the thing about him, what I love about him, like he may be very business oriented, but he always puts his family first. And the comfort of me knowing that I have him as a manager who's giving me a lot of advice about, yo, take some time. Don't do this for a while. Don't do that, because I would call him. I would get mad, like for no reason. I just needed someone to yell at.
What did you get mad about?
Just like little things about like moving in our career and whatnot. Why didn't you send me this email? Why did you forget to do that? You said you're gonna do this. What I loved is that he took it in and then he responded. He never like showed me any type of impatience. He might forget a lot of shit and he might be like a head ass sometimes because he's from New York and he thinks he's a shit. Fuck you, Kuya Charles. Fuck you, but I love you. You know? But I'm with him because I know for a fact he'll take his shirt off for me. He'll give me the shirt off his back. Kuya Grizz, Kuya Marv, same way. They hold it down. My producers, engineer, they've shown me like the belief as well. They've shown me ultimate kindness in this music and just great people to be around, not just music. J-Mar holding it down for me. Always got to give him a tip after like his services, you know. Yeah, I'm just starting to see like maybe I'm starting to see family a lot more. That's what also helped, and being with them. So
it seems like a lot of that like downtime, just from what you've told me, came from a lot of isolation, especially even through work. And right now you're finding a little bit more support and stability being around people that are on the same vision, the same direction, and who have held you down in the past.
Kuya power! Wow! Oh my God!
No, bro, because that's some real
Whoa.
shit. That's some real shit.
The isolation part got me. Like,
I'm only saying that because I felt that. Even just this last month, October, it ain't even past, it's just November. October was heavy for me, bro. Like just doing work, my positions. Like I'm around people, but I'm around them because it's meetings.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I'm doing work, but I'll go back into my room at the end of the day and just like, yo, I have to grind because I have all these other tasks.
Yeah.
Right? And I wasn't at home as much because of work. And I couldn't go home to my mama in Daly City from school.
Yeah.
So like I really felt down. Like there was like 2 weeks that I honestly was like, wow, this is the worst I've actually felt in a long ass time. Yeah. And I realized I was not taking care of myself with like the habits.
Another thing.
The habits, like my journaling or even writing music. That's where I came back to it. That's why I was like, bro, I need to sing. I need to write. I need to freestyle. I need to do these things that have held me down. And I have to run, like even physical body. I have to run. I have to get a sweat on because that's a whole kind of pie where you have different sections of the pie that you have to take care of, but it really is being around those people. Because I've been listening more to folks talk about mental health and all that, and we are social animals. Even me, I'm an introvert at heart, where I like my energy rebuilt at the end of the day through journaling, but I can't be isolated. I have to be around people that I truly love, and because that's how we evolved as humans, right? In tribes, with our people. And it's very easy to isolate ourselves now.
Yeah.
Because we have the idea of connectivity through phones, right?
Yeah.
And then also we have a lot of responsibilities on our shoulders, right? But at least just from what you've been telling me, like, bro, I was like, oh shit, that sounds exactly like what I've felt in the past too. And then realizing, oh, okay, my upward mobility is when I ground myself in certain people and get those good habits in line and
Yes.
everything. So,
Isolation.
like going back to like the reason why we started this topic was my question about where music fits into your decolonization process, right? So where are you right now in terms of using music in that process of that 5-step where you're working towards acceptance?
Where music fits in is because during the depression right now, taking my music seriously starting this year with my first single release in March on all streaming platforms, I started to experiment with different styles, different emotions of how I can write a song, different ways that I could approach something. And through these emotions, I was starting to realize, oh shit, I was mad in fucking sophomore year of college. Oh, I remember this person did this when I was in fucking high school. Like the music, letting these emotions out in writing and then putting it out there for the world to see, I started to backtrack a lot of moments that I had. And I started to realize like, oh shit, this, that. And then at the Camille, like we also talk about decolonization. And then she was telling me like, hey, so like, you know, it's all about like 5 stages of grief and this and that. I was realizing, yo, those stages, I feel like I've been through those before. And I'm able to write about everything, each of those emotions through the music. And that's when I started to realize, oh, because some of the songs I would write about my past, and then that's when I started to realize, oh, that's probably this stage. I was going through it without knowing. If I didn't do music, I feel like I would have been stuck in the depression stage. Or maybe I would have been stuck in the bargaining stage. But the music helped me as indicating like, oh, I was here. But if I didn't do music, I would have been there.
Bro, this is gonna definitely go into my thesis, fam. like just even talking about like the writing process. This is in a lot of my social welfare classes of like, this is what therapy looks like in terms of making sense and order of our past.
Yeah.
And the places that we've been in, even the stories of our parents.
Yes.
Bro, that second track on I was just listening to it, the one where you're talking about respect the hustle.
Yeah.
Where you talk about your grandparents and your parents and then you, right?
Yes.
Bro, that's a whole fucking like genogram, you know, what people make in terms of like putting their family history and making context of their life.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Contextualizing it.
yeah,
Yes.
super, super important. And like, I really see the power that music has on people in terms of making sense of their life and putting it all together.
You're just giving me like light. Not in that way. Now I'm not saying light is better than dark, but like, you know, like enlightenment.
Yes, exactly,
Yes.
fam. Say that again. What?
Light is not better than dark. But of course, if you are light, we're not saying we're better than you. But we're trying to attack the mentality that
Of
people think
colorism.
Yes, colorism. There's a word for it. Yes.
Throw the word in there.
There's a word in there. Yes. Love it.
No, could you, because we're talking about the power of music, can you please do another track for us?
Oh, this one is just in time. Play it.
Okay, cool.
Just in time.
Perfect.
This one's just in time. Shout out to Inara, the feature. Man,
Inara.
she can sing. I like harmonize with her in the chorus.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yo, listen, I'm the kind of guy that bottles my emotions. I've been riding tides, going with the motions. Super difficult to stay present in the moment. Ever since I put the music as my main focus. I'm only in my 20s, why do I feel like I'm too late? War in my head, called that a crusade. Political climate, feeling like live satire. Afraid that all the things I say might backfire. But I created this cause I be stressing all the time. Wondering what's right and wrong, hope I don't step on the line. But I do try to do my best and behold, I do bend, but I definitely don't fold. Like a piece of paper, I achieve peace writing on a paper to unleash into the universe, yeah. And I know it's all hard, at the same time I know we got heart. Just take a breath, step back. Remember life don't always got your back. No, don't be down, just slow down. No, don't rush cause everything will come in time. Right back around. Yeah, there you go.
Step back, take a step back. Love don't always got your back.
No, it don't always got your back. Yeah, you can pause it now. That's it.
Who is that?
That is Enara.
Nara, what's her IG?
EHNARA.
EHNARA.
RA. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
looks
song
like
came
a
at the
good-
right time.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that.
That song, ooh, this is the first time, because I prefer writing alone. Because I'm scared to show that vulnerable side of me when I'm writing. But this is the first session where we actually wrote with somebody. She writes alone too. But in this particular moment, we're like, all I knew is that I had the beat. I bought a lease for it, sent it to her. She was like, hey, let's start writing tonight. I'm like, cool. Or next week or something. After work, went straight there. We didn't know how to start. We're just jamming. And then she initiated it. She was like, ooh, just take a breath, step back. And then I go, ooh, remember life don't always got your back. Oh, shit. And then she said, don't be down. And I said, just slow down. Oh my God. And then she goes like, remember, and then I say, remember everything. Wait, what was that? What did I say? Oh, don't rush cause everything will come in time. Right back around. So that song is called Apples and Karma because don't rush, everything will come in time in life. And when it comes in time, it also comes back around. Apples and Karma.
Apples in karma?
Apples and Karma.
Why apples?
Because that is the fruit of life and it's sweet. Apples are good for you. And karma because I am a firm believer that if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. There's consequences, you know. Yeah, karma. So
You believe in karma?
I do believe in it. Yeah.
I believe in it too.
So there's no proof.
It's
right,
like,
that's
yeah,
what I was like,
definitely.
well,
It's a
there's
good
no
way for
proof.
me to feel like,
right,
okay,
but I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Man, like, even if I talk about like, oh, the institution of religion is just a form of control, and we cannot judge, we cannot believe this and that.
Fact.
I still believe in some shit that can't be proved.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been recently also going back to faith.
Yes.
But not necessarily in the vindictive God, the one that has been used like to kind of control, but a higher power. It's hard. It's hard when you have this quote unquote critical consciousness of the historical usage of religion and even institutions of religion.
Yes.
But the older I get, the more like there's this calling to appreciate and acknowledge some form of higher power.
Yes,
because
and I agree.
But I can't say this is it. Right.
Most definitely. I want to add like this is just a placeholder for the hole in my ear. This is like I'm Catholic, but I don't have the biggest faith. Like in fact, that's a big part of my depression right now is that I don't really know what to believe in. I just know and I acknowledge there's a higher power, something, but I don't want to believe that it's God or Jesus because of all the stuff in the past that was they used like wars, murder, whatnot. How they used him to justify what they did. I can't rock with that.
I love this one metaphor or story where it's like you have these different religions. They're all like different trees.
Yes.
But they're all pointing to the same direction, which is the sun, right? You have God in Judaism. You have Allah in Islam. You have, and other religions point to some form of, I don't know if it's higher power, but something. They're all pointing to something. And these have been here for thousands of years,
Yes.
right? Like, so there's something there, I would say. It's just been co-opted by people who want power,
Yes.
right? And they
Yes,
become
yes, yes.
institutionalized or something. And even me, I'm on the process of rediscovering it. I've recently realized, like, shit, I need to pray sometimes, and just because when you think about it, prayer is almost like meditation.
Yeah,
like
yeah, most definitely.
and I'm like, oh, so that's why my mom's pretty zen. like she'd be praying, right? Of course, sometimes it brings on like some unnecessary things of like you shouldn't be gay or like things that have been used to impose certain things on other people.
Yeah.
Right. But when it's used as a form of kind of self-stability and like reflection, even and principles to live a good life, it can be very dope.
Yes,
I think.
yes, and I rock with that. You know, so.
But I was looking at the earring. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah,
Pretty swaggy though. And I was like,
this
okay.
is not the final one. Like, I just need to find the earrings that I'm gonna get for it. 'Cause
Oh, you're
I have
still
like
looking?
a whole way of like, I have like a whole plan out for this.
Bro, your hair be growing out too. I don't
Yeah,
think I saw you with your hair like this.
Nah, it was
yeah,
cut
when you
short.
hit the bay, you weren't like that.
Nah, I was thizzing in the bay. I had to have that fade, you know. So,
You
this
had to
is like
have
it's
the fade.
growing out. I just want to see where it goes. This growing out my hair is also like a way of teaching myself self-love, because a lot of people in my family like, when the fuck are you gonna get a haircut? My partner, when are you gonna get a haircut? And then like people tell me your hair's so long, but I'm like, I love it.
Bro, I would love to grow my hair out. Like, there's something fun about it.
Yeah.
But I have a hella oily face and head. So like all the shit, I break out way more when I have long hair. But I remember I had like the long ass ponytail in like 2014, 2013.
Hey.
And then I cut it right off before the whole man bun craze. So I was like, fuck, I can't capitalize on the sexiness of this goddamn man bun. And now it'll look like I'm a poser growing it out a year after the man bun came. So goddamn this timing, bro. I was like, oh my God, if only
Yeah, man.
Pimples
What
didn't
a hype
fuck me up.
beast.
What a hype beast, I know.
What a fucking hipster.
What
Okay,
a
you
swag beast.
you had the man pun before the man pun. Fucking hipster, Filipino, swaggy Pino. Are you on Tumblr too?
Oh my God, the Tumblr days, bro. No, I can't. I'm done.
How did you get linked up with the crew that you'll be rocking with now in terms of rap and like these manager also, but especially the local crew that you be? I see you rap consistently with them.
Yes. So, my manager is the reason for that. So, it all started off. You know what Sunday Jump is? You know the event here? Okay. Sunday Jump is a event that is hosted in Filipino Town. And shout out to Kuya Eddie and Ate Stephanie, because I know y'all are there. I'll visit y'all soon. But it's basically
In
like
Echo,
in Echo Park, yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah. And they have open mic nights, right? And I went there because I wanted to perform. I performed there once, and I loved it. You know, the energy that I get there and the energy that I give back is just, it's utilized in great places. And then I went there a second time. But the thing is, I didn't want to go the second time. I was tired. But my partner said, no, let's just go. We haven't been for the past couple months. We said we're going to go. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then next, on my manager's side, his partner, she's Filipina. They have a daughter. And my manager is black. So Ate Janice said, hey, my friend is going to be at this event. Let's go. He didn't want to go.
So do they live here right now?
They live here. They live in South Central LA, yes. Of course, yeah.
Okay.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So my manager actually hit no. His partner, my partner, convinced us to go.
Ah.
And we linked up because I performed a piece on Philippine and Mexican identity, how we're the same through Spanish colonization.
It was a rap.
It's a rap, yes. And he watched it because he was managing an artist at the time. He loved what I did, hit me up. He said, if you ever want to work, let's work. And I ended up hitting him up because the engineer that I was working at the time was not the engineer that I felt like I should be working with. You know, different styles of how we work. So I hit him up. I said, hey, do you have a studio around here somewhere? This is at the time last year when I was trying to get my EP done. I'm like, if you got a studio somewhere, I'm down to link up. He's like, cool, yeah, I got some stuff. Like, I'll be back from New York like next week. Let's meet up. I drove to his place, and it's crazy because this is the first time I went to the hood. I was there. I'm like, cool, fuck it. So I go. I kept an open mind, and it's cool because there's a certain beauty about that area. You know, it might look like a very low income community, but at the same time, there's just a certain charm to it. Everybody's outside, jamming, music's loud, kids are playing, love it. Complete contrast here in the valley, blocked off. Everyone's to themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Of course, I'm not trying to compare and say what's better, but I like it there. I go there, meet up with his artist. They said, yo, we got a song. We're going to the studio this Friday. You can drop a verse to it. You could be the second verse because we have a first verse from this artist, third verse from this artist. Go. I'm like, cool. We go to the studio. I record it. Loved it. Met the other two artists. We started working together, right? Started shooting the video for that song. And that was the very first video that I actually was like, damn, oh, maybe I should keep going with this hip hop thing. And then he was trying to find he's still trying to build a team around what we could do, right? Because there was some discrepancies between him and the other artists. So I guess like they weren't like a pair anymore, but he started working with me. We're still cool with the artists, of course. So my manager showed my EP to Kuya Grizz, who would end up becoming somebody that would help pay for my studio time and help pay for the beats because he heard my EP. And then Kuya Charles also introduced me to Kuya Marvs, who is the producer engineer. He has access, he has everything. He has a studio, he went to school for engineering, producing, and he developed his own sound, and he's dope. Like the way I approach my music with the MC side of it, he approaches it with the producing and engineering. He can hear things I can't hear. I can reach emotions that he didn't even know was possible inside me. So I started working with him, started releasing the singles every week, posting every day. And then that's when Kuya Grizz came through after hearing my EP and he wanted to work. Then he started to be a part of the team. Jamar, my cousin, he's a videographer for multiple artists. Anybody could hit him up. You know,
Pop tag.
yeah. So he actually was looking for an artist to work with, just to be like stuck with. And my manager said, you're looking at him, MC Zuko. And then he was like, why didn't I fucking think of that? And then I was thinking, why didn't I think of that? And then that's why we started working together. Like wherever I go, I'm gonna bring him, and I wanna make sure that he gets everything that he gets so he could get to his dreams and goals. Because he wants to do vlogs. That's what he originally wants to do. But he's paying for, he's doing videography on the,
So he wants to do like vlogs consistently?
He wants to do vlogs consistently.
For other people?
No, for himself.
For himself.
He has a great life. A very interesting and fun life to watch. It's just that he needs he needs time to do it. And he needs money, of course, and energy and whatnot, but he can't do that if he's filming music videos for everybody else. We gonna get there, bro. I got you. You got me, I got you. But yeah, and then that's how our whole team came together. And honestly, that's all we need right now. Like producer, engineer, videographer, manager, artist, boom.
Dope.
And my iLove is there as the backbone of all the support, making sure that she buys me food when I don't have money. She drives me to places, and I always have her in my mind, my heart. Everything I do is always for her and my family. So
I love it.
yeah,
Do you have another track on this?
I do actually,
Okay.
and this song is about her.
Hey, perfect timing.
The timing, but you're such a magician. Damn. You are. Man, I'm done. This is the last song too.
Wait, pause real quick. I'm going to change the memory card.
Sweet. You are such a Man, I'm done.
All right. So we're just talking about your alab. I guess we have a little special
Yes,
something
we
here
do.
for your alab.
This is this is the song that's has the most plays on Spotify.
Oh,
I
word?
think this is probably my most well-known song.
Oh.
Aside from the Putang Ina Mo.
Yeah, I thought it would be the putang ina mo.
Yeah. This is me experimenting like my synthy flow. Yeah. Woo, woo. I think you've heard this? Probably not.
Probably if it's on your Spotify. Is it on the top of your Spotify?
Yeah, it's like the highest played.
No, I've probably heard.
Lorraine reposted it.
Yeah.
Shout out Best Fam.
I wanna feel temptation.
The feature is cold.
Hey, did Nico remix this? Is this it?
That's Lay With Ya. That's
Okay.
the one where I'm singing. This one
Okay.
is someone else singing. But yeah.
Wanna feel temptation.
Who's the singer?
Brianna Marin.
Body like someone
She sells like hooks, choruses, verses.
Oh, okay.
Yo, sweet like a margarita. If this was love at first sight, I'm playing finders keepers. Cause I've been trying to reach ya, and I'ma need ya to toss your feet up. I'll get deep up in it. I'm talking about massages now. I promise I will never do you wrong. And please forgive me for my wrongs. Yeah, and can I stay the night? Yeah, I can stay the night. And I'm afraid of heights, but I just can't stop falling for you. And I don't know how you do it. You got me dealing with feelings, meaning I gotta pursue it. You a free-spirited individual with the visual, visible characteristics, inexplicably kissable. I'm keeping it real. Fuck a soul gone challenge. I got my own song rapping about your whole darn package. Cause you packing a lot. And I don't mean it like that. I'm talking about the fact that you unbelievably stacked with kindness, good judgment, and even better intentions. May I mention that you sexy, simple, and selfless, and how selfish I can get to get my point across at times, but not as much as you cross my mind. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, hey, hey. Temptation. Come on, come on, come on. Sensation.
Oh man,
Hey, hey.
so wanna feel the
Temptation.
and then that's it.
Hey.
Man, but there it is.
Nah. Replay.
Everything, full performance.
Full performance.
Get your costumes out, get everything. You gotta
Wardrobe
explain. We
change.
gotta get a crowd here. We gotta get food concessions.
Jamar, bring the vlog in.
J-War, get the There we go, man.
How did you meet your alab? How
I
did y'all
met my
start dating?
alab because remember when I joined the fraternity? She joined the sorority the same semester. And she was with somebody at the time, but I always had some type of feelings for her, but I wasn't that kind of guy to just try and ruin what they had. When I found out she became single, of course I didn't swoop in automatically. I actually took like everyone but her knew that I liked her because of just the way I was always like nice and the way I always got shy. She was the only person that didn't know. Everybody else knew. But everyone was telling me, "Oh, make that move. Why are you being such a, excuse my language, why are you being such a pussy? Why are you being such a bitch?" And I'm just like, yo, just let me take my time, man. Yeah, I just gotta wait. She's got out of a like how many year relationship, and I got a lot of confidence to build up first. So I waited like a year. And then like a couple months, and then that's when I asked her, "Hey, you want to go to formals with me?" I asked her through a dance, and formals is basically when a new class is going to be initiated into the fraternity. I wanted her to be my date, and that from there, it's history. I held her hand there. We had our first kiss. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, shout out.
I
Thank you
like
to your frat and sorority. That's how it usually links up,
Fraternity,
right? We have shout out to folks up in SF State who I hear a lot of stories where their Filipino fraternity dates the Filipino sorority.
I'm so done. I'm so done. That's like, oh, it's so cute.
It's so cute because you've been doing that.
Yo, it's so cute. Like, I just love that kind of stuff. Man. Oh my gosh. Like when they meet and my heart.
So how long have y'all been together now?
Actually, today's our 52 months.
Today?
Exactly.
52 months.
4
What's
years
that?
and 4 months.
Damn, you know the actual number of the months.
Yeah, 4 years and 4 months.
Do you count the months? You count the months?
We count the months too.
So you do
Like,
your
at
months
first-
anniversary?
Yeah, at first
So
it was like
every
we don't need
21st.
months.
Every
Yeah,
21st is
it's
a
like,
month?
oh, at first we're like, if we count the months, that means we're not serious about it. But then now it's like, let's count the months.
Yeah, why not? That's sweet.
It makes it seem more like a lot. 52
Yeah,
months, holy shit.
52 months. I didn't even know that. I was like, that's a lot. But then you say 4 years, and I'm like, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a long ass
We
time.
both look
bro.
up to our parents for like just like how they just hold things down through all the hardships and whatnot. And we want to do what they did, build upon it, acknowledge their faults, but also forgive everything, them and ourselves, and we try to be like better for the next generation.
If you don't mind sharing, you mentioned a while ago that your parents split.
Yes.
Did they come back together?
They came back together. Yes, they came back together. They came back together after a year, and they're still together to this day.
How was that process for you as a kid, seeing a separation and coming back?
I didn't know what life was. Like it was really hard for me to come to grips with the fact that I'm gonna potentially just live with my mom for the rest of my life. Like it's very hard because it's like it's apparent that you love your dad, but your dad doesn't love your mom. It kind of makes me feel like I had to choose. And then at the time they were both, you know, emotionally just weak, spiritually weak. My mom would make me kind of try and choose her. My dad would try and make it seem like he didn't do a bad thing. But I'm glad that they worked through it. Some stuff happened again this year. And I finally, like, I guess, like, I told my dad what's up. Like, I came up to him one day. I felt like I really had to do it because he kind of messed up again. I don't even know. Was it this year? Was it last year? But I kind of went up to him and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that when I grow up, I'm not gonna be. You're not the man that I want to be when I grow up." And then I think I've seen the pride in his eyes just diminish and be replaced with like some kind of epiphany when I told him that. Because like it's been happening, you know, like it would happen. I remember it happened when I was in elementary. It happened when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. An incident happened in college, and then as a graduate, this recent one, I told him that was something I wanted to tell him all these years. Like how it relates back to the question you asked me, were you just afraid to like speak up? And I felt like I had to tell him at that moment. And I didn't mean it like, I'm not gonna be like you're a horrible person. He was a great dad. He's a great dad. He's not the best husband, but I told him like, that's not what I'm gonna be when I grow up. And I think after that, it just made us closer to this day. Because he actually recommended, like, I think the Bohemian Rhapsody movies out. He said, it felt great to hear him say, hey, you should watch that because you might pick something out that could help you with your career. And I was like, damn, I never thought I'd hear that. Like, you know, or like, man, every time he sees me, he's like, hey, MC Zuko. And it's like, when's your next show? When's this, that? I'm like, wow, whoa,
Interesting. First, thanks for sharing, bro.
thank you.
This is a lot. It's very heavy. But you telling him that made y'all closer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, because that sounds like a very heavy thing to say. Like, almost you said the pride diminished in the sense, but
Yeah.
it is your truth in the sense of
Yeah.
like his actions. You don't want to let that define also you and how
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
to play out, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that made you closer? Because I would have initially thought that that's gonna be a hey, fuck you.
Oh yeah. Because before I told him, I said, Dad, you know, first of all I asked him like, how could you, you know, and then he didn't say anything because he knew he was wrong. But then when I told him, I made sure that I looked him in the eye and I didn't say it in a way that I was attacking him. I just said, when I grow up, I'm not going to be the man that you are. And I know he heard like honesty and sincerity in what I was saying. And the reason we got closer was because everybody around him telling him not to do it again, it just wasn't working through the years. And I knew that if he heard it from his own seed, especially like him, he's the firstborn and he's a son. I'm the firstborn and I'm the son. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm the shit or whatnot, but there's some kind of like relatability and some kind of connection that we have that's like, if I'm telling him, for him to hear it from somebody that he brought into this world, it just kind of like, he was like, what the fuck? Like, the person I've been teaching, raising my whole life is now not telling me from a point here, but telling me from a point here. I think he realized that's when he knew that I became, like, I'm not that little boy anymore. And if I have a problem with something or if I have an issue, I'm gonna tell you. And I think after that, like, and the fact that he knew about my music career and the fact that now we can just talk about whatever, it's like, we got closer that way. Cause I feel like, you know, the step back, forward, 3 steps forward. Sorry, I'm like stuttering. Yeah, we got closer because that's something he needed to hear from his own child, the person that he loved, you know, the kids and whatnot. So.
Man, like that's exactly what I kind of viewed my own father, like realizing that he's human and he was a great father, not a good husband. And then learning to accept that. But bro, I gotta say, you're even a step ahead in terms of being able to communicate that disappointment with your father.
Yeah.
Right? I personally have not directly said, I would say I was disappointed that they didn't work out. I've told him that. And I can tell that like it's been something that he definitely does not want to talk about it because he loves me as a kid, as a son, and doesn't want to disappoint me in a sense, and knows how much I love my mom and how much that grinds on me, like that happened, right? But what sucks, bro, is that I ended up being unfaithful in my last relationship, and like realizing, I remember going back to my sister and then like and then crying to my sister and saying, bro, what the fuck did I just do? I'm repeating the same shit that broke up our family and hurt the people that I loved, right? And then kind of like trying to deconstruct that, like even up to this day, I'll say I have my addictions that I'm working hard, like it's an everyday battle.
Everybody
to like
is.
step away from patterns, from behaviors that ain't healthy for me in the long run. And it's like, I'll say conversations like this, super helpful. Realizing like we ain't alone, right? That's that cowboy shit. Like, we ain't alone. Kuya power.
Kuya power.
Hey, we need more of it.
We need
Like-
more for that one.
Like realizing, okay, we ain't alone in this. But because of the culture of silence, even not talking about the infidelity in our families and by the men that we love and look up to,
Yes.
not talking about that allows those shit to be reproduced. And it ain't good. It ain't good for us, ourselves, I think, and for the next generation that be coming up, that be putting certain people up on pedestals that are reproducing the same unhealthy habits or patterns. So I hella appreciate you. I hella appreciate you for opening up and being honest and being upfront about these struggles, because like hearing it is super important, especially from people we respect. Like bro, from like a objective, like just swaggy shit view, you on your game of like rap and a lot of respectability with you as a person and your hustle and grind, and then seeing the other side, right? The things that we would traditionally judge as soft, right? To be open, to analyze like where we've come from, the struggles, the depression, the fucked up things in our families, right? That have been pushed into a box of silence because of past trauma, because of our culture. And I think it's super important that we be putting it out there. And you even put that in your music. I know I've heard certain lines that be talking about your family and the issues there. And I don't even shout out to out there Ruby. She be putting that shit in hers about her pops, bro. Like replaying that, I'm like, God damn.
Fucking queen.
Oh my God, like, and going through that process, like her talking about her relationship with her pops, right? And then hearing it, imagining that that's being reproduced, and like, but her process of healing through it, through the music, is also helping others heal through it. I know. So much props, bro. Fucking love it. I love the grind. That I want to see what the next step is. What is the next step?
The next step in terms of what, life?
Music. So talk a little bit about your most recent EP, right? Because none of these songs were on that EP.
Oh yeah, the mixtape. Actually, Apples and Karma was
The last one.
the one with Inara.
Okay. But majority of these weren't. You have a whole recent mixtape that's out on SoundCloud right now with one of my favorite songs, Putang Ina Mo, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like Handasa, like Pandasa, like Valerius Pandasal. I wanted to go buy some. Jose Rizal. I was like, oh, okay, okay, throw it in there. I have a Valerius in Daly City,
Okay.
bro. I've seen the one right here in Seafood City.
There's
the
one
North
here
Off,
too,
right?
bro. Yeah, over here. Oh my God, that's the spot, man.
Tell me a little bit. We're closing off a little bit. Tell me a little bit though about this most recent project.
Okay.
Whatever thoughts you have about it, and then where your direction is going right now.
The mixtape is basically, that sums up my heart, my soul, everything in that mixtape. Because earlier this year when I was releasing singles, I made a vow to myself and publicly, which is something I don't do anymore. I don't try to like publicly say what I'm gonna do in terms of music, because everything's fluid, it might change. So I was like, I'm gonna release a single every week, to the point, like, of course, like I said, I was going through depression, very critical. This mixtape actually helped save my life. Now that you asked the question, holy shit, fucking questions, man, god damn. Okay, the reason why I made this mixtape was because I was like, I want to craft 10 songs, and these 10 songs will be for the next 10 weeks, so I can like lay off, because you know, like the whole singles thing. I made this in 3 weeks. I got the beats, I recorded everything, and basically it has a lot to do with like family. It has a lot to do with my like bringing up issues, not attacking issues, but bringing up issues, and that's it. And then like the traditional hip hop sound of it, and me testing like my emotions, like the anger and Putang Ina Mo, the sadness and foundations, the hopefulness and respect the hustle, the cheesiness and somebody get a nurse. Yeah, that's what this mixtape did for me. It made me be free for 10 weeks and realize I don't need to be fucking doing this. So after that, I just stopped releasing singles and I stopped talking about what I'm gonna do and just instead do it. In terms of the trajectory of where I'm going, I want to make music now that is like, I want to make music that can be consumed not just by the Philippine American community. I also want it to be consumed by all audiences in America. Because if I'm gonna make it in this career and make the type of money that I'm aiming to give back to the community, I have to make sure I don't compromise my lyricism, authenticity, the artistic side of it, the creativity. Keep that, but deliver it in a way, not dumbing down, but deliver it in a way where people will understand and relate to what I'm saying, and they can bump it at a party, and they can bump it at a club, and it goes like what E40 says. That shit goes. So that's the challenge now. From here on out, I don't want to do singles. Singles was like great, but that's not the kind of person I am. There's so much to the story that I have to say that has to be spread out in a project. So each release I do now is just gonna be an album. But I do have some some other singles that are kept in the vault that were supposed to be released after the 10 weeks. We'll get to those next year. But for the meantime, I'm not releasing any music. I'm just working on performances, interviews, and music videos.
So you wrote this most recent one in 3 weeks?
Most of it, yes. 2
Damn.
songs, like I said, remember when I asked you the question earlier, when I would write a song and then I had to find a beat? That was Quay Jericho. The greatest lyricist, Phil-Am lyricist I ever personally knew, passed away, and I wrote about him. I just didn't know the beat. When I found it, just laid it on there, just had to change the tempo. But the other songs that I also wrote beforehand was like, what? Wow.
But majority was written.
Majority of them was written in the 3 weeks. I came up with it in Father's Day. I'm like, I need to release these because it was gonna be like 3 weeks until where I would have to have the 10 weeks. Like, all right, I gotta get everything done. So in the studio, paid, boom, boom. My dad actually helped paid for studio time too. I paid him back, of course. So that's how that came to be. And I was like, all right, 10 weeks, I'm gonna do nothing.
Hey, it was a solid project, bro.
Thank you very
solid
much.
project.
Thank you very much.
I know now there's some stuff you gotta watch out with that Nico Stephen remix, bro. You be hitting up folks up in the Bay. I'm trying to see those collabs. You did something with Burra Beats too, right?
Another Temptation. That's one of the singles we released.
Oh, that's his?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, Another Temptation, and we shot a music video for it too.
Wait, so the one that you performed, that's just Temptation?
That's just Temptation.
Okay, so the other one was
is
Another Temptation. Oh, okay. And which one is the one? Is Another Temptation the one that you're talking about being tempted by to cheat? Or is
Yes.
Yes.
That
right?
one. That one actually. If you listen to the song, I'm not talking about cheat. Well,
Initially, it sounds like that.
it sounds like it,
Yeah.
but give it a couple more listens. You see what I'm talking about.
okay.
But I wanted to relate, like, kind of throw in like that issue of infidelity in the community. There.
Yeah, that's the one that I felt like that issue being there.
Yes.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know if that was another verse to this, or if it was was that part of the most recent mixtape?
That was actually like one of the singles that I released. There's the singles, the mixtape. Yeah.
Bro, just hit my mind that Find Your Peace song.
Yes.
Bro, legit, when I was struggling through like a week, I was listening to it. Like legit, there were some lines in there that was like helping me base my mind.
Oh man,
and
that
like
warms my heart.
I really feel music is a certain wavelength that vibrates on a certain frequency, which technically sound is, right? But incorporating the melody, the messages and the words linguistically, like how it enters into our brain, it can get us to different states.
Most definitely.
And I think that Find Your Peace definitely helped me get at least a step or two
my heart.
above from a low spot, bro.
My life is complete. That's all that matters to me.
So definitely, that's why I love encouraging people to put shit out and share, because that's power, right? That's power in there.
Yes,
and it's
definitely.
power for our community that you're putting it out there, right? And we need to see more of that.
Yes.
Closing off, I like asking, what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give to a younger self?
To a younger self.
Yes, and you could span it out whether that is the one who before middle school was super self-hate, or the one who's going through like realization of fakeness, or the one also in anger phase, and even maybe the younger self from like most recent year of being down or depression. What are 3 things that you would like to say in terms of pieces of advice that hopefully and most probably will be relatable to other folks, because these are universal experiences?
Yes. One of the first pieces of advice is always you are good enough. So whenever you enter doing something that you feel like you shouldn't do because you feel like you're not going to be good, don't let that stop you from actually trying, because that's in your head. You didn't even start doing the thing yet. You're good enough. Just go for it. Everything, life is like this. Life is a roller coaster. As cliche as that may be, life, literally, you have to know this in order for you to know what this is. You have to know what this is in order for you to know what that is. So take life as it is, and don't be, just acknowledge that when you're feeling down in the moment, just know that, oh, this is something that will pass. I just have to experience it in order for me to get back up there. And the last thing is, don't stop smiling. Don't stop smiling. Don't stop smiling, like telling the corny jokes, being you. Because there was a point in my life where not the denial phase. Denial phase, I did it a lot, because the denial phase was me basically just coming to grips with the fact that that the self-hatred was happening. But in the anger phase, I wouldn't smile a lot. I would try to be that hard dude in the fraternity. In the bargaining phase, just because you couldn't do something in the past doesn't mean you shouldn't let that haunt you right now, while you're hanging out with all your friends who end up all going to graduate school and you're the one that's going in music. You should have just been more present in those moments. Well, I'm in the depression stage, but I've been smiling a lot more. Just keep smiling, keep saying those corny jokes. Like you said, there's a certain level of intelligence you need to have to initiate and even think of it on the spot for people to be to decide if they're gonna laugh or not. That's the fun.
And the follow-up, when it really is cheesy and bad, get yourself out of that hole, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's another level to that,
it's like,
right?
okay,
There's
it's all good?
levels.
Okay. I'll try again later.
For sure.
definitely.
Thanks, bro. Do you have any shout outs to folks?
Oh man, there's so much. I want to give a shout out to, of course, my family, my alab, the music squad. Y'all know who you are. I want to give a big shout out to, of course, Kuya Chris for the platform, for the opportunity. It's just, I hope that you learned as much about yourself just as much as I learned about myself just talking to you.
Word.
And a big shout out to the Philam community, especially in the Bay Area, because if there's cities like South San Francisco, Vallejo, Concord, if there's cities where we get the least amount of orders of lighting products, it's the Bay Area.
Oh, least amount of. Fuck yeah, baby.
The most is here in SoCal and Las Vegas. SoCal, Las Vegas. And I wholeheartedly believe it's because y'all are tight up. Like, I see it, bro. Y'all got it going on. Keep going. We gonna handle what we got going on here, and then we gonna have something happen in the future. But the least amount is in there.
Okay.
So every time I get a South San Francisco order, Daly City, oh, they just want like efficacent oil. Okay. And then like I get it from Valley Joe. Oh, they just want like 6 pieces of soap. Okay. Oh, and then I get it from, it's like
Interesting. Okay.
LA, 10 pages.
Okay.
Las Vegas.
See, we encourage a man hustling, and he has to have his job. And
but the goal is to kill the whitening industry and find him another job.
All the time.
Support his music and kill the whitening soap industry, fam.
Yes.
Let's go.
Definitely. Most definitely. Of course. But to my employers, I love y'all.
We'll help you find another
Yeah.
product, bro.
I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. But at the same time, you know what you want to do, go for that. Okay? So yeah, that's the goal.
So thanks, brother. Much
All right.
love, man.
I love it. Much love. Whoosh.